Yo, what's up, everybody? So, why is podcasting important? I'm going to be going through 3 reasons, sharing some stats, some stories, some examples on why podcasting is such an important platform and why people should take advantage of it now because it's going to keep growing in the future and it's not going to go anywhere. So, if you guys like this, let me know. Like, share, subscribe, you know the deal. But let's hop into it. Okay, so a lot of the people who are in my world, who follow me, who are my friends, they always try to compare podcasting to something else when it comes to, them wanting to start one or them continuing with one, comparing to like a Facebook group or a blog post or a YouTube channel, etc. But there's a few key differences which I'll go through on why I think podcasting is different and why it's so important for now and for the future. So you guys hear me talk about this all the time, but some of the most important things when you're building a business, building a brand online, etc., is differentiating yourself. And your voice is literally one of the only ways to differentiate yourself. There's your looks, your name, and your voice, and then your thoughts. Those are usually the 4 ways to differentiate yourself. And with a podcast, a lot of you probably heard this, but the importance of finding your voice. Like, I don't think a lot of people actually know what that means, finding your voice. There's the physical element of getting comfortable speaking and sharing ideas and having your nuances. That's a great way to differentiate yourself. But the big thing behind that is figuring out, when you're finding your voice, you're discovering your character flaws. You're discovering, a lot of insecurities you have. A lot of people, when they start a podcast, and we see this a lot with new clients, and then, looking back 50 episodes or 100 episodes, they sound completely different. They flow completely different. Their thoughts, how they communicate is completely different. And that's because they worked through their own insecurities of, being afraid of what people are going to think about them, holding back. And that's such an important thing to like get over if you are going to, have a brand online, produce content online, is, having your own thoughts, ideas, opinions, and your way of thinking. And that speaking through that helps a lot. Finding your voice. I always tell people like podcasting, interviewing, or doing solo episodes, it's almost like talk therapy, especially a good interview, because you feel like you're both, expressing yourself. And it's super important to flex that muscle of expressing yourself if you want to create new things, be innovative, be remembered. That's one of the reasons why podcasting is different, because it has that element of finding your voice. It's harder to do with other platforms. When you do it in a longer format, I feel like it's more powerful. So the second reason why podcasting is different than most platforms and more important is because it's long form content. Now, most people, your competitors, people in your market aren't doing long form content because it's harder. Usually when there's something that's harder to do, less people are doing it. And that's where the greater opportunity is. But obviously it takes more diligence, takes more focus, takes more effort, and it's more of a practice and discipline. A lot of people who are making content online are doing shorter form content, which is okay, depending on where you're at. But I always think about like time in, time out when it comes to listeners, customers. The more I can, communicate to them, the more I will be remembered and the more I would differentiate myself from a competition, etc. And podcasting is one of the best vehicles to get a lot of consumption from someone and for them to really get to know you, like you, trust you in a quick amount of time. You could have an audiobook, but that takes a lot of time and effort to do. Audiobooks are another great way. But podcasting is like an audiobook every week or every day or however much you want to post. And in this world of social media, quick scrolling and, dopamine hits with social media, I find the opportunity is in long form and really building the relationships with people if you want to grow a good audience, a good foundation, and just build a lot of karma out there, I guess, with people, just giving a lot of value in that way. To me, that's how you another big reason why podcasting is way more important than a lot of other platforms. YouTube could be the same, but YouTube could be a little more gimmicky at times because it has the visual element. A lot of people are on there for entertainment. Not saying podcasting can't be like that, but it lends itself to people listening longer because they can multitask and they can do other stuff while listening. Okay, and the third reason why podcasting is so important is because it's not going anywhere. I always share the story about with podcasting how it's a medium, it's not a platform. There's a lot of platforms out there. There's TikTok, there was Vine. These are just ways to deliver content a certain way, and it has like an algorithm and UI, etc. Podcasting is different in that it's a medium. It's like how books are for written word. like how movie theaters are for visual elements. And same thing with TV. It's for watching things. When it comes to listening to things, podcasting is the biggest and will be the biggest just around the world. It's what radio used to be. How people used to just listen through voice, through radio, but radio was beholden to the hardware of towers and shit. But now with smartphones being so important into our lives, you know, to the point where people can't be away from it or check it hundreds of times a day, podcasting is embedded into that. It's not a platform, it's a medium. People who have a podcast, or if you don't, what you're doing is you're creating a feed of your content, and then all these different apps pull from that feed. So you're not posting to 10 different places at once when you do a podcast. You're just posting it in the cloud, and then all these other places are taking that and distributing it through the RSS feed is what they call it. That's why it's not a platform. You know, people saying it's a platform, it's not. It's a medium. And it's growing globally, which is cool. I have listeners in Europe, which is weird to think about. Also in South America. I think that's as humans evolve, as content evolves, etc. Like, I think we're going to be more connected around the world, you know, especially if you speak English. English is your first language. It's super important to start connecting with and communicating and giving value to other people in the world, because there's opportunities to be had everywhere in the world. Yep. So those are my reasons why, you know, I believe podcasting is super important and more important than other platforms. You know, I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Hit me up on Instagram. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions down below in the comments on YouTube. Let me know. And I appreciate you guys listening. Anything you want to hear about, let me know in the comments. Hit me with a DM. And yeah, till next time, peace out, guys.